We're about to dive into a celebrity brand war that absolutely took over the internet. You've got two huge stars, two almost identical luxury trips, and one massive question: who was copying whom? Okay, so picture this. On the exact same weekend, Selena Gomez's brand, Rare Beauty, and Hailey Bieber's brand, Rhode host these influencer getaways that look, well, almost identical. And of course, the internet just exploded. Everyone was asking the same thing. Is this some kind of wild coincidence, or was this totally calculated copying? So when both of these snowy getaways went down, fans immediately started noticing these unbelievable similarities. And the overlap, you guys? It went right down to the custom snacks. I mean, seriously, look at this. Both trips had their own branded s'mores. You can't make this stuff up. All right, let's really get into this battle of the brands, because this wasn't just some run-of-the-mill marketing event. Oh no, this thing quickly spiraled into a total viral firestorm, a real cultural moment. I mean, the timing here was just impossible to ignore. You had Rare Beauty up in New York and Rhode out in Montana, but the theme, it was identical. And having these events happen at the same time, well, it immediately fueled all these accusations of copying. And more importantly, it reignited this long, simmering rivalry between the two founders that, let's be honest, their fans know all too well. Okay, so let's look at the case for Rare Beauty. For their fans, the argument is all about precedent. They're basically saying, hey, our brand was the original. Let's dig into the evidence. So the main argument you'll see from Selena's fans is pretty simple. It's all about history. They point out that Rare Beauty has a solid track record of hosting these brand trips. And in their eyes, that makes them the originator, not the one doing the imitated. And they build their case on that track record, right? And also on the kind of experience it was. It was designed to feel super personal, really generous. I mean, the fact that Selena herself was actually there, that was a huge deal. And so was the luxury of it all. Like, they gave each influencer their own private cottage, a whole cottage. And this really gets to the heart of the brand's focus, right? The goal here wasn't just to get a bunch of pretty pictures for Instagram. It was about creating this cozy community vibe. You had influencers saying it felt less like a work event and way more like a fun winter trip with friends. Okay, but now let's flip the script and look at the case for Rhode, because Hailey's supporters have a totally different take on this. For them, it's not about who's done trips in the past, it's about who announced this specific trip first. So Rhode's defenders come in with the receipts. They'll argue, okay, sure, Rare has done trips before, but we were the ones publicly teasing this specific winter trip for months. They point to announcement dates and claim Rhode went public with their plans way before Rare ever did. So their case really boils down to two things: timing and brand consistency. They argue that Rhode's event was planned totally independently and, this is the key part, announced publicly way in advance. Plus, the whole vibe just fit perfectly with Rhode's minimalist, super chic aesthetic. They even had a pop-up shop that was open to the public, which is a nice touch. And what's super interesting is just how different the actual experience was. The focus for Rhode was clearly on that clean, minimalist, visually driven vibe that just screams Rhode. It was way less cozy trip with friends and much more fancy, high-end wellness retreat. So we've heard the arguments from both sides. But here's where things get really interesting. As this whole debate raged online, the conversation started to shift. It wasn't about logistics or s'mores anymore. It became about something much, much deeper: fan loyalty. So while everyone was busy arguing about who was first and who copied who, the online chatter started to reveal something else entirely. And it turned out, the actual facts of the trips, they were starting to matter less and less. And that's the real kicker here. For most of the people fighting about this online, the details, who planned what, who announced when, it was all completely irrelevant. The trips just became the latest excuse for fans to pick their side in a rivalry that's been going on for years. And here's the really wild part. When you strip away all the drama and you just look at the actual products they were promoting, you see there are clear differences. You know, one is more pigmented, the other has more of a glossy feel, but all of that nuance, it was just completely lost in this online war. And that really brings us to the most important point of all. This was never actually a battle between two beauty brands. It was a battle between two incredibly powerful fan bases who were just using these brands as their avatars in the fight. Right, so this whole situation, it just became the newest battlefield for a conflict that is much, much older. The ski trips, the branded s'mores, they were just the latest shots fired in a long-running proxy war. You just have to look at the comments online. They got personal, and they got personal fast. It wasn't about debating the quality of a lip tint anymore. People were making these sweeping judgments on the character, the background, and even the morality of the celebrities themselves. And you have to understand, this incident did not happen in a vacuum. Not at all. It plugs directly into years and years of intense fan investment in the very complicated, very public, personal lives of Selena Gomez, Hailey Bieber, and of course, Justin Bieber. And this comment from a fan really just sums it all up perfectly. The brands have basically become extensions of their founders. They carry all the history, all the baggage, and all that fierce loyalty. They're not just companies selling makeup anymore. They are characters in this massive, long-running public drama. So all of this leaves us with one last big question. In this super crowded world of celebrity brands, what are we actually buying? Is it the product that's in the bottle? Or are we buying into a story, picking a team, and choosing a side in a celebrity soap opera? It's definitely something to think about the next time you click Add to Cart.